There we have it, the MPC leaving rates unchanged, and that contrary to what much of the market had been anticipating yesterday, and instead devaluing the Naira by 3%. The move was not surprising on the currency front, as the central bank governors already hinted towards this direction. But what did you make of that announcement?
Well, I think, first point on what the market saw coming. Well, I think in this business, when we anticipate something and it comes off, we should say so. So I'm saying so, but of course it doesn't always happen. But the point about the statement, well, I think on the FX, yes, what happened was that before the extraordinary MPC meeting in October, Governor Sanusi had said, in as many words, look, we need to test demand, FX demand in the market, and then we'll act accordingly. They tested demand. Demand proved more robust than perhaps CBN had expected. So this led directly to the announcement yesterday, which is a moving of the midpoint. So as you say, it was fairly well flagged up, and it's come to pass. I mean, the hope, of course, on the CBN side is that now they have this level, the CBN can maintain its cherished foreign exchange rate stability, which it says, and I go along with this, it says is what foreign investors, policymakers and manufacturers want.
Absolutely. Where that's the hope, stability is what the central bank is hoping for, certainly what investors are hoping for. What are you making of, or what are you anticipating in terms of the likely impact and the longevity of that impact from here on out?
Right. Well, I think, the MPC, CBN, does have a let-out clause, of course, which, as we know, is the oil price. So there's no secret at that end that if oil price were to fall sharply, then, as they say, all bets are off. Then they would have to go back to re-examining the midpoint again. But for now, I would have thought seasonally, at this level it can hold. They can hold this level within the band, and the band is unchanged, 3% either side. Hold that into the new year, because this is a period of when seasonal demand tends to ease off for FX.
Okay. So let's take a look. We're looking at about 155 as the stability rate for the Naira at this stage. Implications, as you see it, for the inflationary scenario moving forward, because there's a high risk that's presented to that scenario as we're looking at the possibility of fuel subsidies, Gregory, being removed beginning of next year.
Yes, I mean, on inflation, it's very interesting because the communique following the meeting yesterday, actually it showed the committee is quite comfortable with the direction of inflation. So what it said was, look, I know the headline rate is still double digit, and it acknowledges that the objective is single digit, but what the communique said was, look at the core measure, and the core measure, at least in October, year on year, had stabilised. So I suppose you could say that the MPC would say that, given the decision to leave the rates on hold, yeah?
The decision
as for the fuel subsidies, you're asking about, fuel subsidies, supposedly a rolling program reducing them with effect from 2012 budget. The CBN take on the fuel subsidies is that, yes, of course, there's dislocation and there'll be disruption, but the CBN view is, MPC as well, of course, is that it's possible to exaggerate the impact of removing the subsidies on inflation.